Hello Forza fans, welcome to the November episode of Forza Monthly. It's been a thrilling month with the launch of Forza Horizon 5.
With Super 7, it's back in Horizon 5, but we've taken it to what we see as the next level with Event Lab, which is a suite of creation tools, allows players to create everything from challenges to full game modes.
So this is an event that was created by Dave Orton on the Horizon game design team.
Dave has really kind of put his own stamp on it, added a whole bunch of different fun props and things to smash through, and just made it a unique experience to drive through.
Okay, so this time it's the Gauntlet of Fun again, but we're doing it in multiplayer, and Dave has added some additional rules.
Yeah, so now we've got a kind of scoreboard that's been added to the event, and we're incrementing the score by smashing into piñatas. So you can see, as I'm hitting these piñatas, my score is going up on the top left of the screen.
So we see players use Event Lab, the things players are requesting. We're going to continue to update that, add to the feature. For example, we know how important the ability to edit your Event Lab creations is whilst you're creating. That's something we're working on, and we've got a great new Event Lab section on the official Forza Discord for sharing your creation and tips with other players. And yeah, we're really excited where Event Lab could go in the future.
We've seen movies and television shows and depictions of what this holiday means on camera. Let's do something a little bit more intimate, something that really feels like stuff that we can get behind. And you know, the artist and the whole team over at Forza was super accommodating and super helpful. And really, I think they came up with an idea that I'm super proud of, and that I'm super happy for the rest of the world to see. And that feels like the essence of Dia de los Muertos, but also feels like it could be rocked on any other day of the year.
So we're redoing a lot of how we build our games now. You look at how Horizon 4 was supported and grown with the community, new massive features like Super 7 and Eliminator coming into it, and then the way that Horizon 5 is going to be supported with the community. Motorsport as well, it's being developed in a new way. The community's voice is inherent, it's integrated into everything we do, and we're rethinking so much of the game to stay true to that heart of competition while doing new ideas that push the genre forward.
Hello Forza fans, welcome back to another Forza Monthly. It's December, but no matter where you are, summer is right around the corner. We've got new series updates on their way to Forza Horizon 4 and 5, and lots of information about those and more coming your way today. So let's take a look at the stream schedule. Up first, we've got Playground Games talking us through the Series 43 festival playlist for Forza Horizon 4. Then we'll preview the Car Pass cars coming in Series 2 of Forza Horizon 5. After that, FTC Stereojax is here to tell us all about the great community content that he and his team put together with Forzatography Central and FTC Racing. And then Chris Esaki is back with another update on what the Forza team is cooking up for Forza Motorsport. And then Ali Tak will see us out with a rundown of the latest community events. So lots and lots to get to. Why don't we get started with a warm welcome for Playground Games senior producer, Tom Butcher. Hello, Tom. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Leah. Yeah, it's good to be here. How are you?
I am doing fantastically. Thank you very much. How are you?
Yeah, brilliant.
Yep. Just the same old. All right. Well, we've got some series updates to get into. But before we do so, we wanted to take a moment to sort of address the fixes your team is working on for Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah, that's right. So we understand how frustrating things are for everyone right now. Please know we're working to roll out fixes as soon as we can. We obviously always appreciate your ongoing feedback. And we appreciate each and every one of you. Obviously, without our players, we wouldn't be making games. So please bear with us as we work to address those issues.
All right, we'll talk more about Forza Horizon 5 soon, but first, let's roll back to Forza Horizon 4 and the Series 43 update. If you want to talk us through exactly what we're getting there.
Yeah, let's do it. Cool, so series rewards, 50%, you can get yourself a Horizon Backstage Pass. 80%, you can get yourself a Celine S1. And the summer 50%, you can get yourself another Horizon Backstage Pass, and at 80%, get yourself the Mazda RX-3. Then the summer trial, Christmas barbecue, you can get yourself the 99 Lotus Elise. And then the seasonal event, the night before Christmas, can get yourself the Merry Christmas reward, chat line. And then the A Bath on the Hearth can get yourself the Fiat X1 And then the Solstice C, get yourself the Honda trophy truck. Moving on to autumn, at 50%, you get yourself another Horizon Backstage Pass. And at 80%, there it is, the Santa outfit. Get yourself all festive for, I guess, winter, but it's in autumn. Then the trial Flex Your Muscle, you can get yourself the Holden VL Group A. And then seasonal championships for autumn, the Solstice Showdown, can get yourself a Lancia Stratos. The Honda Holiday, get yourself the Happy New Year quick chat phrase. And Rally Around the Christmas Tree, the Toyota Celica 92 could be yours. Then in winter, 50%, another Horizon Backstage Pass, no way. 80%, you get yourself the Megane RS. Then the winter trial, Happy New Year, you can get yourself the Porsche 356 SL. It's a hard to find car. And then the winter seasonal championships, Don't Feed After Midnight. You can get yourself the AMC Gremlin, the Hogmanay Street Party. You can get yourself the Ferrari F12 TDF, and tip of the iceberg, you can get yourself the Maserati Tipo. Then in spring, what? Another Horizon Backstage Pass at 50%, and at 80%, you can get yourself an elf outfit.
Aww.
Holiday Hype trial, you can get yourself the Koenigsegg Jesko. Smiling's my favourite. That seasonal championship can get yourself the elf hat. New Year, New Me, the 2017 Ford GT, and sparkle into the new year can get yourself the Ferrari 250 GTO. And that is Series 43.
It's like watching a descent with every title every month. It's like, what? You just, what level are we going to get to? Who knows?
How can we stoop lower with those puns?
Well, thank you very much for the update, Tom. Chris Phillips is going to join us now as we switch gears to talk about Forza Horizon 5. So welcome, Chris. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. I hope you are as well. You're here to talk about Series 2 on Forza Horizon 5. And Car Pass, which is back for Forza Horizon 5. So, explain to us what is Car Pass?
So Car Pass is a premium add-on, also available with the premium edition of Horizon 5, and it gives you 42 amazing, really awesome, new to franchise cars at the cadence of one every week.
One every week. All right, so there's 4 new Car Pass cars coming this update. So why don't you talk us through exactly what they are and what makes them so special? So we'll start with number 1. What have we got first?
So this is the Ferrari J50. So this is available on Thursday. The J50 is it's a very rare limited edition run car to celebrate 50 years of Ferrari in Japan. So it's based on the 488, which is the kind of the mid-engine V8 supercar, but with completely custom bodywork on it. And it's a very, very pretty car. I really appreciate the black line that kind of runs around the front bumper and up the side, which is harking back to the F40 and F50, which both featured that. And the rear end is actually quite SF90 Stradale. And yeah, the bodywork also improves the aerodynamics, so it's a little bit faster around the corners than the 488. And yeah, really cool car.
Yeah,
so that's the J50.
Great. Aesthetically pleasing. All right, so that's the J50. Now, what's the second car we've got here on the run-ins?
So the second car, it's another Ferrari. It's the SP2 Monza, which is loading now. Here we go.
2 Ferraris, okay.
So it's another open-top Ferrari. This one with no windscreen.
Yeah,
so
nice.
this is. So there's two versions of the Monza. There's the SP1 and the SP2. It refers to how many seats it has, basically. So we've got the SP2. There's 2 seats, so you can take someone for a ride. With the SP1, there is no passenger seat. Weighs a little bit less because of it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just nice to share things like this with friends. So I'd go 2-seater personally.
Yeah.
How about
We'll go for lonely drive.
hot red leather seats as well?
Yeah, and it really pops against the bodywork as well. So this is based on the 812 Superfast, probably one of the best car names ever. And it like the J50, harks back to previous Ferraris. So in this case, it's the kind of the 166mm Barchetta, with Barchetta meaning little boat. And it's that kind of speedboat kind of look to it, very long and elegant. And in this case, it's got the awesome 6.5 litre V12 that's in the superfast. And as it's heavily based on a superfast, it's kind of got all the performance and handling from that, but with this absolutely stunning body on it.
All right. Okay, so that's the, what is it, the Ferrari Monza, did you say?
That's the SP2 Monza, yeah.
That's the SP2 Monza. Right, there you go. It looks another Batmobile-like car. So let's look at the third car then in the Car Pass update this month. What have we got next? Is that another Ferrari?
So, up next, no, it's still in Italy, but we're moving to Lamborghini next.
Okay.
This is
very cool.
This is really cool. We were chatting about this car earlier. So this is the Lamborghini Espada. Specifically, we have the Series 3 version, which is the last one. They only made 450 of these. So, you know, we talk about rare cars nowadays, like limited runs of modern Ferraris, McLarens, etc., being 500 cars normally. They only actually made 450 of these, so it's a very rare car. It was designed by the same person that did the Lamborghini Miura and the Lamborghini Miura and the Lamborghini Countach. In fact, the original concepts for this car, it was actually built off two completely different concepts. One of them had gull-wing doors, but Lamborghini didn't want to do that for this car. So instead, the gull wings, or what is now known as scissor doors, ended up on the Countach. This car is actually a four-seater, so 2+2. And it's got the same engine that was in the Miura up front, so it's the V12 from the Miura. And yeah, this is absolutely beautiful.
It's kind of got that lower glass bit as well, hasn't it, on the boot? So we can't quite see it in this light,
yeah.
But yeah, kind of unusual.
Yeah, because it was originally going to be mid-engined as well, which is why it has this very long back on it, but they couldn't quite get the leg room for the back seats. So that's the Lamborghini Espada.
It looks like it drives like a tank. What's the fourth car we've got here then?
So
Fourth
the
and final
fourth car
on the
we've
Car
got
Pass.
is the Lamborghini Huracan Evo.
Ooh, okay. Let's
So
take a look
this
at
is,
one.
I suppose you could call this the Series 2, or the second generation of the Huracan. This takes all of the learnings from the Performante, which was the very track-focused Huracan. It takes away the aerodynamic stuff, so it looks more like a normal Huracan, but underneath it's got the same powertrain, same suspension, and it also has the rear-wheel steering from the Huracan Performante as well. So it's really, yeah, it is a genuine evolution on the car. Still got that glorious sounding V10, but much faster, much better handling. And that is the Huracan Evo.
A Huracan Evo. There we go. Two Ferraris, a Huracan Evo, and a Lamborghini. So, can you remind everyone how they can get the Car Pass then, if they're not aware?
Yep, so it's part of the premium edition of Forza Horizon 5. It's also available as a premium add-on, and it's going to deliver you 42 new, awesome cars every week.
Amazing. So in addition to the Car Pass cars, you have a lot of great content and rewards coming in Season 2 as well. But we're not going to learn about that here, are we? Where are we going to be learning about that?
Yeah, so straight after this show on Forza Horizon 5 Let's Go, we're going to be covering all of Series 2 and 3. Yeah, we've got some great stuff coming up, so please stick around for that.
Yeah, all right. Straight after the show on this channel, Forza Horizon Let's Go stream. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for the update. I hope you both have a wonderful day and enjoy the show later.
Cool, thanks.
Cheers, thanks for having us.
And if you're looking for a challenge, why not pit yourself against a racing legend? F1 driver Checo Perez put together a Super 7 challenge that you can play today. Take a look.
Este es mi mundo sin límites. Bienvenidos a Checo's Piñata Challenge. Tú también puedes crear tus propias funciones divertidas con herramientas como Super 7 y el nuevo y poderoso BenLab Gameplay Toolset, que incluye carreras personalizadas, retos, trucos y modos de juego totalmente nuevos.
All right, there you go. Challenge yourself to that right now in game. But now it's time for our community spotlight. And this month we're joined by FTC Stereojax, team manager of FTC Racing and Forzatography Central. Hello and welcome to the show. Oh, I don't know if I can hear you. Sorry. Hopefully it's just on my end.
Hello, how are we doing?
There we go. Hello. I'm doing all right. Thank you very much. I hope you are well.
Yeah, I'm great, thanks. I'm great.
It's great to have you here on the Community Spotlight. You are a long-time Forza community member, right? Which I'm sure you'll mention in a second, because it's pretty important. But when did you start playing Forza, and how did you come to join FTC, Forzatography Central?
Yeah, so I started playing Forza around 2007, originally just a meet-up night with my friends and getting into racing and stuff. So that kind of caused me to switch over to Xbox just in time to sort of catch the tail end of Forza Motorsport 3. And then Forza Motorsport 4 came out and that had me hooked, basically. That was where I started taking photos, and little by little, I sort of got to know the Facebook community, and Forzatography Central was my sort of first go-to place, and it was full of good guys that encouraged me along the way, and bit by bit I sort of got to know the guys and became an admin, and the rest is history.
There you go. Now you're actually managing the team. So what does that entail? Give us a quick rundown of what the team is and the channels itself, because you cover a lot of ground in the Forza community, don't you?
Yeah. So, like I say, the sort of our bread and butter, if you were, was Forzatography, and we basically share the work from the community and celebrate all things Forza. And yeah, so basically we run competitions, we run events that are sort of less competitive. That's
There we go. I mean, it's a lot. I like you just there, like, oh, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Just a few small things. Yeah, so much.
There's a lot of work. There's a lot of work definitely goes on behind the scenes. We've got a fantastic team. There's 9 admins.
Highly underselling your work that you put into this. So let's start with Forzatography Central then. Let's start right from the beginning, because we've featured many photographers and photo teams on the show, which I'm sure if you've been watching at home, you'll know. But Forzatography Central is different. So what is the channel about? What kind of content do you feature, and what sets you apart?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, Forzatography Central is what it says on the tin. We literally set out as a group of Forzatographers, and it's just sort of grown from there, really. As I say, now we have sort of channels across Instagram, Twitter. We have our Facebook group, and of course our Discord channel, which has sort of became our kind of centralized hub now for everything. And yeah, we basically just like to sort of promote everyone and promote the best sort of Forzatography, and yeah, just.
All right. I mean, so one particular thing you are doing at the moment is FTC 30, right? It's a running sort of event that you run. So what is it?
Yeah, so FTC 30 is one of the events, and basically it came about as a sort of way to inspire myself. But I sort of took that a little bit further, and we've made a 30-day challenge where for each of the days we give the community a theme to sort of go for. It could be something simple like black and white, as if there was a better cue for that photo.
Right.
Or it could be something like New Horizons, where people can interpret that how they like. That was Roby's entry into the end of sort of event comp, and she captured New Horizons in quite a lot of different ways there. Someone else sort of went down the route of someone went down the road of a literal horizon with some beautifully timed and positioned rabbits. So so it's a great way to celebrate the community, and again get as much exposure for the Forzatography side of Forza, and just inspire people. Basically, that's the sort of key. Give people the inspiration to go out and take more photos.
Yeah. That's sometimes that's all you need, right? A prompt, something to
Yeah,
jog
exactly.
your mind and go, oh, I know exactly what I can do. And then you come out with a stunning picture.
Yeah.
So when is the next one then? When's the next FTC 30? And can anyone take part?
Yeah, of course. So currently we have the FTC Advent, which is a sort of pretty straightforward spin on FTC 30. Basically, we are posting themes for the 24 days of Advent, and as so far as possible, we've tried to sort of keep a Christmas sort of festive theme to it. Like I say, there's currently not many snowmen to photograph in Mexico, but I have seen a screenshot that may change in the future. So let's hope that's happening very soon.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay, so aside from these FTC 30s, then you are an accomplished photographer yourself. So let's see if we can see a little bit of your own work here, and maybe you can
No
describe
problem.
to us what we're seeing. Like, what
Yeah,
are we seeing here? Forza Motorsport 4.
Yeah, the very first Forzatography style photo I took, and it's nice to look back on and just sort of see how far I've come. You know, I occasionally post that and invite other people to do the same, and you know, post their first photo and post their most recent. And yeah, that's one of my more recent photos that I think captures the realism that Forza Horizon 5 gives us, and also my absolute love of rally cars. This one was for a PTG competition I was lucky enough to win, and won some pretty cool merch. That was a very lucky photo. It was one of those that I was sort of looking for something to represent color, and that threw itself at me. Yeah,
that's incredible.
It's been quite
just
a popular
piecing apart
photo.
what's happening here in this picture, and I just realized it's the dirt bikes and the way that the wheels have aligned and everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I say, it was just that was a lucky spot basically. I saw that again. That was for FTC 30. The day I think the theme was speed that day, and the caption was "He was going too fast." That's all I could catch. You know, I think I picked that up quite well, and that won me a sort of competition. I've been lucky enough to sort of communicate with Larry Chen, the Hoonigan photographer, and recreated some of his work in Forza. Obviously, that's the IndyCar at Long Beach. As well as a sort of Ferrari Dino, and like I say, I was extremely lucky that he picked up on that, and we was able to chat, and he actually helped me get better photos, better recreations of his photos. That way, that was a really cool sort of side effect of doing what I do. That was a sort of creative edit I done on Forza Motorsport. Forza Horizon 4. Somewhat famous Forza figure in the corner there, making up a mock advert. But yeah, it's just trying to be creative, think outside the box, and not be producing the same as everyone else, really, and just trying to be a little bit different.
Yeah. That's all you can do, really. And that's the photography side. But another facet of your FTC ecosystem is FTC racing. So tell us what that's all about. What's going on there?
Yeah, so again, much like FTC 30, it sort of came about through trying to keep ourselves busy, try to keep the community busy. We initially set off to enter a few races, get some replays, take some photos. Absolutely steadfast in our sort of goal that we were never going to host any races. 3 months later, we're hosting races, but that's just very much the FTC way of things.
How it goes.
If we see a challenge, it's one of those things. If someone says that's going to be really hard, then we're like, right, we'll give that a go.
That's mad.
So yeah, the series that's on screen just now, that's literally just finished. That's sort of that's kind of my flagship series, if you like. So when we've like I say, we've got a big team of admins, and we've all got lots of ideas on what we want to do. As I say, I like to race big trucks. Not particularly well, but I like to race them. So yeah, FTC racing just really spurred out of us trying to keep ourselves engaged and try to keep our community engaged. And the sort of, again, a nice sort of side effect of that is we've made Forzatographers into racers, and we've made racers into Forzatographers. You know, so the event the photo on screen comes from when we ran a 2-day heritage festival, sort of based loosely on the Goodwood Festival, the Goodwood Revival. So we sort of stuck to things no sort of newer than like the 80s, and we had a British touring car sort of event. We had the sort of historic F1 cars. We had the even more historic Grand Prix cars, which were a lot of fun, as well as sort of Aston Martin versus Jaguar and things like that. So another good event that we've been lucky enough to host.
Okay, so these are the previous events, but what have you got going on at the moment? What's currently happening?
So basically, we're building up this weekend to our very first enduro stroke mini enduro, which is inspired by the 1971 Spa, which was it's 100th anniversary of the opening of Spa, or the completion of Spa, and it's the 50-year anniversary of AMG's venture into racing, basically, with the car that you see front and center on the flyer there. So yeah, we're really excited about that. Getting some good support from you guys at Turn 10 as well, and things like that. So hopefully some good racing this weekend, and of course all be streamed on our Twitch channel.
All right. Okay. So let's go back to FTC as a whole. What's your sort of like team ethos? What's your goal and your purpose?
Basically, everyone's welcome. Especially sort of when you look at the focus on the racing side. We aren't a team that says, well, if you're not fast enough, you can't be in our team, or we welcome all comers, down to sort of the fact that on a Sunday night, we FTC Sergio and FTC Raulito run a racing academy evening. So people that maybe want to cut their teeth a little bit, they've not got the confidence, maybe, or worry whether they've got the sort of racecraft to enter in competitive racing, but like the idea of being in something sort of that has a degree of organization, but a little bit more relaxed. So yeah, it's basically everyone's welcome, everyone's included, and it's a good, happy place. I've been very lucky that some of our sort of, not necessarily team members, but server members have commented in the past that there's no real drama in FTC. You come, you have fun. That's it. It is what we do.
That's amazing. So I mean, with that, what's the best way for someone to join or learn more about the FTC community?
Well, basically, our sort of Facebook group or groups are specific to their own sort of branch, if you like. So we've got the Forzatography Central Facebook group, and we've got Forza Racing Central, which is the FTC Racing Facebook group. But really, the main hub of everything for us is our Discord server, which you can sort of see a link on the screen there. That gives you access to all of our racing activities, all of our general photo sharing opportunities, as well as all our competitions, the things we're lucky enough to sort of host in with the help of Turn 10 and stuff. Basically, that's the place to go for it. All right. We sort of run everything from there.
There you go. So follow the socials, join the Discord, and get involved in the FTC community if you're looking for a nice, all-inclusive, welcoming community to get involved in on Forza. Jax, it's been great talking with you and hearing about the amazing work you're doing in the community. So thanks for coming on today.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Cheers.
Absolutely. And you can nominate your favorite Forza content creators for a chance to appear in a future community spotlight right here on Forza Monthly. Just let us know who they are and what you like about their work at aka.ms/Forza Spotlight. Up next, Chris Esaki will regale us with another Forza Motorsport update right after this. Beautiful photos as always. And if you want to have your photo or livery featured here on Forza Monthly, tag it with the hashtag Forza Share, and follow Forza on our social channels for more themed opportunities. Well, we promised you a visit from Chris Esaki, and here he is to catch us up on the latest in Forza Motorsport. Hello, Chris. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Leah, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. How are you?
Good, thank you. And I hope everyone out there in Chatland is also doing well.
Very kind of you to remember chat. It was great to have you back. It's been a little while. And last time you were here, we talked about the team's approach to authentic multiplayer and how players can expect to sort of build and refine their racing skills together. And you got some questions, over the last few months or so about the game's suspension model. And I hear you wanted to talk about that here on the show.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we've we got a number of people wondering about what to expect with the car suspension in the game, and we wanted to share a little bit about what we've been working on based on all that feedback that we've gotten. We've talked a lot about the tire model already, and so I think we can move on to some of the several improvements in our suspension model that I'm hoping that we can cover a number of those things today. We've been working on making all of our simulation elements as realistic as possible, and this work has made the car dynamics much more in line with my expectations and certainly with our players' expectations.
Okay. All right. So where do you even start with that? Aligning like your and the players' expectations with what you want it to be like. How do you go about doing that?
Yeah. That's a really good question. We have a lot of subject matter experts on physics and car dynamics, and I certainly don't count myself in those numbers. I'm really just kind of an observer into a lot of these things. I just have a real surface level understanding of all things car dynamics and suspension. Personally, I've worked on cars for a long time, done a lot of suspension work and that sort of thing, as well as all sorts of other kind of engine work. But in suspension specifically, there's just a lot of detail there that I'm just not really familiar with how people have set up certain suspensions for certain types of racing and certain types of suspension geometry that achieves certain different goals. Like that's totally outside of my realm of expertise. So the last few years, I've asked a lot of questions about this and watched a lot of YouTube videos. Of course, there's some really, really good ones out there, by the way. And I learned a lot about these things just to be able to talk to our subject matter experts a little bit more, so we can actually start talking about where we want some of the improvements to be. So some of the things that I learned about, dynamic force propagation, roll centers, anti-dive, anti-squat. Some of these things are things that I learned about in this kind of knowledge journey in the last year or so. But once again, that depth of knowledge it's not my expertise, and it just goes to show how much we are working to create an authentic suspension system, and really have the cars just feel amazing.
Okay. So obviously there is already a suspension system in the game. So can you give an example of a change the team is working on to that system that we can actually feel?
Yeah, and there's something that's already out there. Drifting is a great example. So back in excuse me, in Forza Motorsport 7, when we were updating the game, we had several team members and drift partners discuss a lot of the things they wanted to see, specifically around drift suspension, setting up cars, and that sort of thing. Had a lot of similar feedback from our players. In particular, it's the whole anti-dive, anti-squat features that were basically missing at that time. So we updated the game back then based off all this feedback. And of course, drifting feels that much better. Cars can be set up in line with our drift partners' expectations and that sort of thing. It really goes to show like what, great feedback and great partnerships can help us uncover, especially when we're really focused on improving certain parts of the game. But that it's like excuse me, throat's really dry this morning.
It's early over there.
Thank you. So that work, so you can blame this on some of our drift partners and drift players. That really opened a Pandora's box, if you will, to a much deeper look at all of our suspension modeling and where some of our other features could be improved.
Okay. That sounds like a lot of complex physics, a lot of high complexity some things you got to throw into the game there, and a lot of things to simulate. So how do you go about that? Where'd you start?
Yeah. Well, once again, it's beyond me. I just have a real kind of surface level understanding of all these things, but it starts with this deep knowledge that we have on the team from our subject matter experts, So for instance, I think I mentioned dynamic force propagation at the top of this, and it's basically how forces travel from the actual tire and the contact of the tire through the suspension linkage, the frame of the car. It's all now super realistic. We had a ton of improvements just in that alone. And one of the things that came out of that is, all of the CAD modeling that we get from our automotive partners. It's now just much more faithfully expressed with all these updates. So, however, it's not just this accuracy that's important to us. It's really just that the cars just behave more realistically, and they just feel awesome to drive now.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, isn't it? So, I mean, you kind of already just answered this, but what does that mean for the players? How is that going to affect the driving experience as we are on the roads?
Absolutely. Well, that's the most important thing, right? Like all of this stuff underneath the hood, that's great. I'm super proud of all the work that the team's been doing here. It's really in this pursuit of an ultra realistic simulation underneath the hood. So our car dynamics are just really, really faithfully reproduced and expressed. But once again, this is all just about making our cars that much easier for all of our players to drive. So if you've ever driven a car or even just been in one, it's just much more in line. Our game experience driving the car, it's just much more in line with kind of what you're expecting to feel and how the car should behave.
Okay. All right. So that is a lot of information. Thank you very much for sharing that. Is there anything else you maybe want to add that we haven't managed to speak about here?
I know this has been a really short update, and it's just kind of to cap off 2021 we've made a lot of strides this last year, and a lot of it due to a bunch of player feedback that we've gotten. We just kind of talked a little bit about the suspension stuff and how our partner feedback as well as our player feedback kind of impacted some of our development here. So I know we spent a lot of time this last year talking about pretty low level physics details. There's been so much done here. I just wanted to shed some light on all of it. But the team and I are really looking forward to this next year, where we're going to get to share a lot more about the larger game we've been building. So can't wait to see you all in 22. And Leah, I hope you have a great holiday season, and chat also. See you then.
Yourself as well. Thank you so much for joining us, Chris, and I will see you next year. And buckle up, because up next, Ali Tak is back with an update on competitive and community racing. Right after, we look at a few more of our favorite community photo submissions. Enjoy. We love all of your work, so please do keep those submissions coming on our social channels. And now it's time for the community events section of the show. We've got Ali Tak back again to run us through everything that's been going on. Hello, Ali. Welcome back. Good to see you.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? Not much. I was gonna make an updog joke, but I won't.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, I hope you've been treating yourself well. Lots of racing in the week, I assume.
A lot has been going on. A lot's been going on. It was nice to see Stereojax as well just then in the community spotlight. It's cool to see FTC out there. And I think we're going to talk about them a little bit today as well.
We are. Well, you know what? I'll just dive right into it. So Stereojax filled us in on the great content he and his team are putting out on all of the FTC channels, which you should go follow if you haven't already. But have you been partaking in any of them, perhaps?
I haven't yet. I've been waiting. So last time there was an FTC 30, we ended up doing a overall stream. So I sat down with Jax and a couple of the other guys from FTC, and we did a photo competition where we ran through the top entries from throughout the month when FTC get all these different photographs in, and they look at them all and organize them all. And we did this whole, it was awesome. It was like a sort of like an art exhibition. And I sat there and I talked about composition and like the rule of thirds. I winged it for a while, and it was cool. It was really great. So we're going to do that again. I'm pretty sure I'm not jumping the gun. Jax can tell me off on Twitter later on, but I think we're going to do that again after December and look through all the photos. So it'll be awesome.
Okay. No, so I'm not taking part in any of the racing then, just the photography side.
I may do some racing as well. They have an endurance race coming up. This is over on the other side of FTC where they do some racing there, and I might get involved with that. They've got a cool endurance race upcoming. I'm trying to think about what cars are in it. There's like super old like Jaguars and things from the 60s, sort of road cars. It looks pretty great. You guys can check that out at FTC Racing over on Twitter if you want to get involved.
All right. Okay. So what do you have for us this month? What have we got prepared here today?
Yeah, it's been a really crazy month. A lot of things been going on. So one of the things I definitely wanted to check out and show you guys was the Team Wars exhibition event that went on this month. But also, I wanted to have a look at the Torah event that just went on just very recently. They had a charity event that ran, and there's a little bit of a sort of recap that we can look at about all of that.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Stick on the recap. Let's go.
Welcome to Mexico for the first time for T-Wars EXR versus Nuts. We'll see two teams taking on two tracks and trying to work their way towards that all-important team victory. Ali Tak right here with you, and it's a very great pleasure to be joined by a new friend, and that's Grumpy.
New game, especially with the new track creator features. I'm very excited to see what these two top teams are going to do in the race.
We are underway with Unfolded.
Unfolded and sent an absolute dive bomb of the century down the inside of Cappy in there, almost going into the wall right there, and someone goes into the wall on the outside. Very surprising as Course goes down the inside of Akatoya. So Course wanting to get up.
Let's get on with the battle for the lead. Disco Doggo gets side by side.
Oh, and he's going for it again. He's going for the inside line. Can he make it happen? Oh, just making contact right there. Can't make the move.
Disco Doggo having to rewind and pulling himself out of the battle for the lead. Let's get back on board with that. Even though the stream's a little choppy, we can see the battle as it's going on. Well, the second step on the podium, Corsa back through into second as the black bars descend the run to the line. It's going to be a race win from Gray. Corsa takes second, and Steers with Toes will be third place.
301.5 lap from Gray. That is an insane lap. That's close to the track record.
The grid for race number 2. EXR, the same 6 drivers coming through.
If anything, this roster is even more terrifying than their last.
Mars underway. Going to be going all Mars's way. And into the wars here with Unfolded, one of the heads of the EXR team, and he's right in the thick of it as things get physical.
Yes, Steven Racer Unfolded side by side, but Akatoya goes down the inside, looks through on Mibushin, but he gets squeezed side by side and goes spearing off to the side down the track. Mibushin! Very questionable moves. Just watch his wheel placement. In this hairpin, watch, he's probably going to grab the grass right there. See, both of his inside wheels on the grass while also keeping his other wheels on the road. That's going to allow him to have more traction on the outside, which rotates his car better.
Chills EU falling back into the jaws of Unfolded. We have a battle here, lap 10 of 16.
Chills makes a mistake again. If Unfolded manages to hold up these drivers for a little bit, that could be a massive swing for EXR.
Here we go then, final lap of the race. The battle with Unfolded is heating up. Corsa has caught up and inadvertently pulled with him Steven Racer.
How much is there respect between Unfolded and Corsa?
When there it is, Corsa, wow, knocking straight into Unfolded and causing Unfolded to rewind through, I suppose, sheer anger and frustration. That is a massive moment. ESV Mars takes the win of the race. That was very impressive. Winners of today's Team Wars has been Nuts. Great job from them. We are very, very lucky to be joined by Venesis, team leader for Nuts.
Overall, it was fun racing. It was a great race. I'm really excited for my team. I'm proud of them all. Everyone put in the work.
Still 4 people battling for third position, the last podium. That Jag is so hilarious. There was a lot of people going here in. Oh, it almost looked like 5 wide, it's 4 wide. Oh, Dan got a little unsteady in the corkscrew. There's a big bend battling it out.
All right. Okay. Two very distinct styles of competitions there. I've got so many questions about Team Nuts, but I think I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to let that hang in the air.
Move on.
Yeah, just move on from it. So, I mean, let's talk about Team Wars then, which we've spoken about on the show before, in fact. So how did it go?
Yeah, it was really good. Big shout out to Grumpy, who's the co-caster there on the recap. The whole event was really interesting for me because I hadn't done sort of competitive racing on Horizon before. And one of the things that was cool was obviously you can make your own tracks in Horizon. So the Team Wars guys, Grumpy in fact, set up the track and kind of built it and made sure everything was sort of working as it should, which was great. And then also all of the drivers needed to spectate their viewpoints in order to watch them, which was kind of fun as well. It kind of, I'd never had that before. And you can see stuff that you wouldn't normally see, like drivers looking backwards and checking the drivers around them. You know, some people do that more than others. It's kind of like a fun bit of character that comes out when you're watching someone stream rather than just like spectating them from a third person camera. So that was kind of nice. The event was great, and Team Wars in general, I think we talked about them a little bit before on the show, so I won't go too much into detail, but they put on some really great community racing. You can check them out at horizonteamwars.org, and this month coming, they've got a stacked roster of events coming up on December 11th, December 19th, even January 2nd. They've already got races all booked out, so they're super busy and very popular, as they should be, which is great.
Absolutely. So that wasn't the only race we saw there, though, in that V2, was it? Because we saw the Tourer NASCAR Enduro race as well. So how was that?
Yeah, very cool. So NASCAR, the NAFCAR event by Tourer, they do a cool job there. They kind of put a bunch of kind of slightly loopy cars together. You could hear the commentator laughing at the Jaguar there, which was great. They ran it this time as a charity event for one of their longtime community members, Flying Mickey J. And you guys can find out more information about that and everything that they do over at racetourer.com. It's a shout out as well to Poping, X3 Art Poping, who Ironmanned all 3 of the stints. It was an endurance race, did 3 stints in a row and won the thing. So credit to you, great run.
Excellent. All right. I mean, it's great to see more community competitions in Forza Motorsport and Forza Horizon, of course. So, you know, you are the man with his eye on the beat, the finger on the pulse, as they'd say. So have any others?
It's good to see on both sides, right? And it's different as well. It's fun to see them side by side and contrast the characteristics of them. Yeah.
So, I mean, so have you seen any more in your, like, you know, lookouts in the world of Forza?
Lots going on in the community. I think there's a Rivals event coming up as well, which is going to be quite a big one to chat about. This is with all the different streamers from around Forza. I think it's going to be me and a bunch of the other people who stream on the Forza channel will be taking part in like a sort of bounty hunter style event. We did one last year as well. That was the word I was looking for there, where I kind of waffled. Bounty hunter. Each of the different Rivals events from that series will have a different streamer who you guys will have to chase and beat, which will be very easy in my case, but harder in other people's cases. So you'll see how things go along. And I think as well, there's even a competition inside of a competition. Dolls inside of dolls here. Where the comperception. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll work that one out later. We'll sweat it out with the writing team. But this is whichever streamer does the best in all the different events will get to make their own Rivals event at the end. And this is all over on Forza Motorsport 7, so really great opportunity to get out there in the game, spend some of your holidays sweating things out on Rivals, and what better a way could there be of spending some holiday time?
Oh, absolutely. All right, yeah, so have you got anything else going on in December then? Just a nice chill month, nothing much happening. Really.
Yeah, I think other than that, I think that's filled up most of my time. There's a little bit of this and that, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's never ending list of things to do, which is awesome. So let's have a look at what events we've got coming up then this month. We've got a little bit of a stacked community calendar if you want to talk us through it.
Yeah, this is all the rest of it as well. There's so much cool stuff happening. And if you guys want to go racing, there's a bunch of different ways of doing that across the Forza community. Check out eMotorsport Championship with their Touring Car Cup. It's great for racing some touring cars, especially around Brands Hatch. There is no more classic a combination. FTC Spa, I mentioned that very briefly and did a bad job of saying the title of it because I've completely forgotten it. But it's the FTC Spa endurance event. That's on the 11th. And that features some really interesting cars. There's an old Jaguar, a bunch of sort of older British makes as well. It looks very cool. So have a look there on FTC Racing over on Twitter. PTG 10th anniversary event is going to be running. That's going to be really cool. And throughout the second half of the month, this is the Streamer Bounty Cup, the first of those Rivals events that I was talking about. So you can find those in the featured Rivals in-game. And then the 7 Civic Cup, if you want to race some Hondas. And at the end of the month, just before New Year's, there's Delta Racing Team putting on a multi-class championship. So do check that out over on Delta. That's racingteam.delta over on Facebook. So lots going on.
Lots going on, as always. Wow, thank you so much, Ali. That is all we've got time for, but it's been a pleasure as always. And I'll see you next month.
Next month? Next year?
Next year.
Happy holidays.
So yes, happy holidays. Have a good one.
See ya.
And we are approaching the end of the show, but there's always more to watch right here on the Forza channel. So let's take a look at what you could be viewing, feasting your eyes upon over the next week. Playground Games are going to be live in just a few minutes with more on the upcoming Series 2 and Series 3 updates for Forza Horizon 5. And we have 5 streamers regularly bringing you content throughout the week, plus a rotating cast of hosts on our Forza Friday show, including devs from Turn 10. So check those out and follow the Forza social channels for more details. We've got a bit of something for everyone. And speaking of, Forza now has Spanish social channels. You can find and follow them at the links on the screen right here, or in chat if you prefer to receive your Forza news in Spanish. And that, as they say, is that. 2021 is a wrap for Forza Monthly, so we hope you enjoyed the show today. Thank you to all of our guests for making the time to come online, and thank you to all of you, near and far, for watching and playing. We'll see you next year. Goodbye.